Oh, excuse me. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. Got pretty good slate of games today. Got NBA's back tonight. Got some college basketball. Uh, sure, some NHL tonight as well. So XFL has a game tonight. So
I wish it was on a little earlier so I could see more of it before I had to go to work.
a little bit more sports tonight than what we've had over the last couple of days. With NBA making a return. You two don't start over there. Let's see. How's it going, Glenn?
He's mad. NBA. He's mad. He's not an NBA fan. He's mad. The NBA starting back up tonight. Pablo is. That's what the problem. Or Scrappy is.
Glenn says happy to be back in Gainbridge Fieldhouse for Pacers tonight. Last home game until March 6th. Yeah, they got a lot of road games coming up. They got a tough game tonight.
Boston.
Yeah, tough game tonight at home against the Boston Celtics. So, not an easy way to kick off they call it the second half of the season, but it's actually only like 23 games left.
That question, not the Pacers, but NBA. Do you think the Lakers can really? Because some people, who was it? Oh, guy from on ESPN, really giving them heck and said with the roster they have now that it's a test now for LeBron to get up to about the 5th or 6th seed.
I don't see it.
You're talking about jumping,
yeah,
from like the 13th position to the 6th position. I mean, I know there's not that many. There's 4 or 5 games is all that separates that, but that's hard to jump that many teams.
I think they're going to be lucky to
get the playoff.
Yeah, I think they're going to be. I think they'll be maybe in the play-in, but and that's going. I think it's going to be tough just because of how healthy. For one, how healthy is Anthony Davis going to stay down the stretch? LeBron as well can have some injury issues. I know he messed up his hand a little bit in the All-Star game.
Let me ask you this question. This might be better.
They have him as day-to-day right now.
How do you think this team would have been if this would have been the roster start of the season?
I'd still have maybe as a play-in team or maybe a little bit better. I think they got a little bit better, but I don't think they got like waves better. I mean, they might be. If they had them the whole season, I'll say maybe they might be instead of being like the 9th, 10th, they might be like maybe like the 7th seed. They might be like in right there at the edge in the playoffs instead of where right now I have them maybe like being like 9, 10 getting in that play.
You don't consider them a contender to win the championship?
I know.
I don't disagree, but I've read stuff and I'm like, really?
I know LeBron's came out and said this is the most important 23 regular season games that he's ever had because try to get this team in the playoffs and stuff. And I understand, they made changes, so now there's there's more expectations of them making the playoffs. But I have them as a playing as getting in that play-in and then maybe having a chance to you too. Of getting in that play-in and maybe having a chance to advance a little bit, maybe having a chance to get in the playoffs from there. But I don't see him as a contender.
How many games? Okay, to get
you only have like 22, 23 games left.
So to make up ground, because you're talking 3 or 4 games, they're probably going to have to. Out of 23 games, they're probably at least going to have to win to make up that ground. 15 at the minimum.
I think if they
win, because there's so many teams.
I was going to say, even if they win 15, I still think that puts them right around the 9th, 10th spot. Yeah. I don't think that's going to move them up.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to do because
to the 6th, 7th spot because
there's so many teams.
You would have to have all them other teams in front of you just collapse.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you go say you go 14-9 or whatever, something like 14-9 the rest of the season.
Well, that's the problem.
Or 14-8 the rest of the season. You're going to have to depend on a lot of them other teams to go.
What if they go
to only if they go 14-8?
Yeah, you're not gaining ground.
You're going to depend on all them teams to really fall apart as well.
Yeah, it'd be different if it was a more halfway season.
Yeah.
If the All-Star break would have been at 41 games.
Yeah, not 60.
Yeah,
or 50 something or whatever.
59, whatever.
Okay, let me get the odds pulled up. We'll go ahead and start in the NBA since the NBA's back. got a pretty good slate of games tonight. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 9 games tonight in the NBA. First game, I think it's going to be a real good game. You got the Denver Nuggets at the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs are 2.5-point favorites. They're minus 138 on the money line. Nuggets are plus 118 on the money line. Over-unders at 222.5. Nuggets are 41-18 on the season, 4-1 over their last 5 games. The Cavs are 38-23 on the season, 4-1 over their last 5. Both teams going into the All-Star break, win the All-Star break hot. Cavs are. Hey
guys.
Damn. Cavs are a tough team at home. They really are. I like the Cavs here at the minus 2.5 at home. It's going to be a tough game, but Nuggets have some injuries. Jamal Murray is questionable with some inflammation in his knee. Hasn't played. I know he had set out a couple games there before the All-Star break. Not sure if he's going to play tonight. There's some other players they have that are day to day. So that worries me a little bit. But the Cavs are just so good at home that I think that the Cavs win this game. I like the Cavs at the minus 2.5. Damien says Lakers have a better chance of making playoffs than the Suns with KD. In my opinion, the Suns might not win anything, but where the Suns are positioned at right now, they have a lot better chance of making the playoffs.
Just with a position.
Because of what the record is and where they're positioned. I'm not saying they're going to win the championship or anything, but I do think the Suns have a better chance of making the playoffs than what the Lakers would do, just because the way the first 60 games of the season have went.
Yeah.
Because the Suns, which they don't play tonight, but what is the Suns' record?
I know it's better than the Lakers, but I'm not real sure.
Look it up real quick, just because. If I remember right, they don't have a terrible record.
They're right about 500, ain't they?
Yeah, the Suns are 5th in the NBA right now, or 5th in the West right now.
Then the Lakers are what, 13th?
They're 32. They're 32-28 on the season. They're 5th in the West.
Yeah,
Lakers are 13th at 27-32.
Damon, you want to make a bet on who makes the playoffs? I'll bet you who's got a better chance to make the playoffs there. Want to go 1,000?
And right now you have the Warriors and the Thunder are the 9th and 10th spots in the West, and the Warriors are 29-29. Thunder are 28-29. So the Lakers are about 2 games out of being in the play-in spot. And I don't see the Suns just collapsing.
And
the Suns would have to really collapse. I mean, they would have to collapse to move all the way out.
What's the real famous dude on ESPN?
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, he's the one that said the Lakers, that with LeBron, with this team, they need to get up to like the 5th or 6th spot. I don't see that any way that possible. You're talking too many teams would have to collapse.
I mean, you're 5 games behind the 5th spot right now.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to make up in 23 games.
Yeah, 23 games.
Because there's so many teams. If there was only one team in front of you from that spot, that'd be different. But not what, 7 or 8.
Yeah, if you had more teams if there were more games, then I'd give them a better chance. But yeah, with only 22 games.
If you're in the 6th position and this team's in the 5th position, we're only 23 games and 5 games behind. That's hard enough.
And they're getting ready to get KD back or get KD added to them. Yeah. And even if they don't go win a championship, KD is going to, if he can stay healthy, he's going to make them better.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's impossible the Phoenix can win a championship if everything goes perfect with KD?
I don't think it's impossible.
I'm not expecting it. But
I'm not expecting it.
Would you be shocked?
No. And I mean, the Suns are only 3 games back of the 2nd spot in the West.
That's what I mean. You're not talking about a terrible team. So I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they won a championship. I'm not predicting they win a championship. The team I think is going to win the championship, I think it's going to be Denver. That's just my opinion.
I think it's probably going to be the Celtics. I think the Celtics have been the best team. Or Celtics or Bucks are the 2 teams I like the best. Yeah. But I think it's going to come out of the East. I think the Nuggets have a chance to come out of the West. Just no other team. I mean, there ain't no teams that's shown that's like been
You
dominant.
think the West is a little tougher? I mean, not because there's a little more competitive,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit.
I mean, you got the Kings at the in third, and they're only, like I said, they're better than the Suns in the loss column, but not the win
Glenn.
column.
Glenn.
Yeah, I was getting yeah. I saw that. Glenn cracking up with the house. Hey, how's it going, Steve? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. But yeah, but going back to today's games, I like the Cavs at the -2.5 over the Nuggets. I think it's going to be a real good game. But I like the Cavs because they're at home. Cavs play real tough at home. So and some of the injury concerns with the Nuggets on guys that are day to day with Murray if he's going to play, and Celtics really don't have nobody hurt. So Cavs. So if you go into that game with some injuries, I think that could affect you. The Detroit Pistons at the Orlando Magic. The Magic are 7-point favorites at home, -270 on the money line. Over-unders at 228.5. The Pistons are 15-44 on the season. They're on a four-game road losing streak going into the All-Star break. The Magic are 24-35 on the season, 2-3 over their last 5 going into the All-Star break. But the Pistons do lead the season series 2-0 over the Magic. But both those games that they won were in Detroit. This game's in Orlando. I favor Orlando to win this game, but 7 points is too many points for me to give up on in between two teams that are not very good teams and are pretty young teams still trying to find their way. So that's a game I'm kind of staying away from. I'd kind of lean maybe toward the over the 228.5 because neither team has great defense. Next game, the Boston Celtics at the Indiana Pacers. The Celtics, that's went up a little bit. Celtics are 8.5-point favorites now over the Pacers, -30 on the road, -340 on the money line. Over-unders at 232. The Celtics are 42-17 on the season. They were 4-1 over their last 5 games going into the All-Star break. Then you have the Pacers who are 26-34, and they were 1-4 going into the All-Star break over their last 5. Pacers are healthy now. They didn't have anybody on the injury report, so hopefully they can start finding maybe some of that rhythm they had earlier in the year when they were healthy. I'm taking the Pacers here. I know the Celtics are have been the best team in the league in my opinion, but Pacers play pretty good at home. So Pacers do lead the season series over the Celtics 1-0, and that game was in Boston. Not saying the Pacers win this game, but I think 8.5 points is going to be too many points. I think it'll be a close game. I think Celtics probably do win, even though I'm a Pacer fan. I hope the Pacers win, but just logically watching the way these teams played, I think the Celtics are the better team. But I think being at home, the way the Pacers play at home, I do think it's going to be a close game. So I'm going to take the Pacers at the +8.5. Next game is the Memphis Grizzlies at the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers are 3.5-point favorites at home. They are -164 on the money line. The Grizzlies are +138 on the money line. Over-unders at 230.5. Grizzlies 35-22 on the season, 3-2 over their last 5 games heading into the All-Star break. The Sixers are 38-19, 4-1 over their last 5 heading into the All-Star break. The Grizzlies do lead the season series 1-0. That game was in Memphis earlier in the season. I like the 76ers here. Joel Embiid's been playing some good basketball. James Harden hasn't been playing bad. I think this team, if they can stay healthy, could make a little bit of noise in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be able to take out the Celtics or the Bucks, but I think they can at least will probably make it through the first round, get in that second round, and then see what happens. But I like the 76ers tonight at the -3.5 against the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies have struggled a little bit here in January and early February. So we'll see how they can bounce back here after the All-Star break. But I like the Sixers tonight at home. Then you have the Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans at the Toronto Raptors. Raptors are 6-point favorites at home. They're minus 230 on the money line. Pelicans are plus 190 on the money line. Over-unders at 226. The Pelicans are 30-29 on the season, 3-2 over their last 5. Injuries have really hurt the Pelicans this year. You've had some injury. Of course, Zion's been out for a better part of the season. Ingram's had some injuries. So they really haven't had their full team all together. And then Raptors are 28-31 on the season. They're 4-1 over the last 5. So the Raptors have not been great this season either. What I like in this game, I like the under the 226 because the Raptors are a pretty good defensive team. Pelicans are not don't have all the weapons and they're not terrible on defense. So I like the under the 226 in this game.
How much longer do you give the Zion thing? Another year?
I would say they probably give him at least one more year, and then if he can't stay healthy, I think you don't sign him to another deal. I think you probably might move on. I know some people think they'll sign him because of the tickets and merch and stuff he sells. I mean, that keeps you there to a certain point.
Yeah, but
you can only depend on it so long because at a certain point, fans are going to quit buying that jersey and stuff because he's never on the court.
Yeah.
So that can only keep you in the spot for so long.
And they got him, and they got young players trying to build a team trying to win a championship. He's not. And when
their team's healthy, they're a good team. They put together a good team. Just hasn't been able to work out. He hasn't been able to stay on the court.
Yep.
He talking about he might compete in the slam dunk contest next year. If I'm the Pelicans, I'm telling him you ain't competing in the fucking slam dunk contest. You can't stay healthy to be on the court. We're not that. No, you're not doing that.
We're about completing maybe 70 games out of 82.
Hell, the Pelicans lucky get the dunk contest and hurt yourself. I mean, I don't see them. I don't see them going to be thrilled about him if he does try to do that. Next game, you have the San Antonio Spurs at the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are 14-point favorites in this game. Over-unders at 239.5. Spurs are 14-45 on the season.
So 239?
Yeah, 239.5. Spurs are 14-45 on the season. They were 0-5 last 5 games heading into the All-Star break. The Mavs are 31-29 on the season. They were on a 3-game losing streak heading into the All-Star break. The Mavs do lead the season series 1-0. I think the Mavs win this game. I don't like the 14 points, though. So this is a game I'm going to stay away from because of that. I do think the Mavericks win. I think they're the better team. They win this game. But I don't think that that 14 points is just too many for me. Damien says, I don't think Zion really ever wanted to play with the Pelicans at all. I mean, yeah, you could say that, but if that's the truth and that's why he's not playing, but with all these injuries and not getting on the court, he's hurting his stock with other teams.
Definitely. I'm
not saying there's not other teams that might take a chance on him, but he's going to hurt what kind of money he would get in his next contract by not being available to play games. Sure, there's a team that will take another chance on him, but they're not going to take a chance on him on a big high dollar multi-year deal. It's going to be a lower amount deal and probably lower more. Yeah,
it's going to probably
prove you can stay on the court.
It'll probably be a short term. Prove yourself.
Next game, the OKC Thunder at the Utah Jazz. The Thunder are 1-point favorites on the road, minus 112 on the money line. The Jazz are plus 104 on the money line at their home, minus 104 on the money line. So this game's almost a pick 'em. Over-unders at 240. I think it's going to be a good game. Thunder are 28-29, 3-2 over their last 5 games before the All-Star break. excuse me, Jazz are 29-31. They were 2-3 in their last 5. This is going to be I think this game could go either way. I'm favoring the Thunder here. I like Thunder here on the money line. Really no reason to take the -1. So I'm going to go with the Thunder on the money line in this game. And then the next game is the Golden State Warriors at the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is a team that's in the 9th or 10th spot right there in that play-in. Ahead of the Lakers is the Warriors. Lakers are 6-point favorites at home, -240 on the money line. Warriors are a +190 on the money line. Over-unders at 238.5. Warriors will be without Steph Curry still, saying that he's going to miss at least another week. Is what the reports I was hearing yesterday. Warriors are 29-29, 2-3 over their last 5. Lakers are 27-32, 2-3 over their last 5. LeBron did mess his hand up a little bit trying to block a shot in the All-Star game, got it caught in the rim. They have him listed as day-to-day. I think he plays tonight. I think the Lakers win this game tonight with no Steph for the Warriors, but I don't like the 6 points because I think this is going to be a close game, and I think the Warriors are capable of beating the Lakers without Steph, especially with if Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson play well. So game I'm staying away from, I kind of lean toward the over to 238.5, just because I think both these teams will score some points. But without having Curry, I that kind of leans me away from that too, because that does take some points away from the Warriors. So it's a game I'm staying away from, but I would favor the Lakers to win the game. I just don't like the 6 points. Then the last game in the NBA, you have the Portland Trailblazers at the Sacramento Kings. Kings are 6.5-point favorites at home. They're -260 on the money line. The Trailblazers are +215 on the money line. Over-unders at 241.5. I like the Kings in this. They're right there, like 3rd in the West. Been playing some good basketball. 6.5 scares me just because Dame Lillard has been able to keep Portland in some games and even come back and win some games at the end. So the 6.5 points do scare me a little bit. But I like this Kings team. What I would go with, what I do like in this game is the under the 241.5. I favor that a little more than I do picking a side. I like the Kings to win, but like I said, this 6.5 is a little too much for me to commit on that game. Hey, you two, that's enough. But my picks for today in the NBA that I'm going with, I like the Cleveland Cavaliers at the -2.5, Indiana Pacers +8.5, the Philadelphia 76ers at the -3.5. I'm going to take the Pelicans and Raptors under the 226. And then I'm going to go with the OKC Thunder on the money line over the Utah Jazz. That's going to be my picks I'm going to give out for the NBA today.
Okay, my NBA parlay is going to be the Denver Nuggets at the Cleveland Cavaliers over the 222.5. Then I've got the New Orleans Pelicans at the Toronto Raptors. I'll take the over 226. And then I have San Antonio Spurs at the Dallas Mavericks. I'll take under the 239. That's my NBA parlay. While you're looking up the college basketball, I'll do my NHL. NHL, I got the Anaheim Ducks at the Washington Capitals. I'll take the Capitals money line win. I've got Minnesota at Colorado. No, excuse me, at Calgary. I'll take Calgary. Change that again. I'm going to take Minnesota money line win. Then I have Boston at Seattle, and I'll take Boston money line win. That's my parlay for the NHL.
Okay. All right, college basketball. I'm only going with. I only have 2 games I like today. I went 3-2 yesterday on my college basketball picks. That was the only picks I gave out yesterday.
I went 3-3 total.
And that brought my year-to-date record to 113 and 104. for the year. But in college basketball, I'm going to take Ohio State at home against Penn State. Ohio State's a 2.5 point favorite in this game. I think Ohio State's the better team than Penn State, and they're at home. And then I'm going to take Illinois at the -5.5 against Northwestern. I know Northwestern's ranked, Illinois is not, but Illinois plays well at home in Illinois. So I'm going to take Illinois at the -5.5 against Northwestern. That's going to be my 2 college basketball picks for today.
Okay. My college basketball parlay for today, I got Northern Kentucky at Detroit. I'll take Detroit moneyline win. Got UTEP moneyline win at FIU, and then I've got Delaware moneyline win at North Carolina A&T.
Okay. Excuse me. Was there anything else
No.
for tonight?
No, I seen the XFL. What do you think about that game tonight? I seen where the Sea Dragons are -4.
That's a
I think I like the Battlehawks.
it's a hard game because the Sea Dragons offense looked good in the first half and then looked terrible. The Battlehawks offense didn't look very good, but their defense,
Look pretty good, and then their
and
offense,
especially in the second half, their defense picked up and really kept them in that game. And they ended up winning that game, didn't they? They didn't come back and win it because of their defense.
the offense got hot the last couple of minutes.
It's a tough one for me, but I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with the Battlehawks too because of their defense.
I'll take the
I think
points
that
and-
defense is going to be able to cause some trouble for the Seattle Dragons because we saw first half Seattle Dragons look pretty good, but then that DC defense was able to cause the Sea Dragons a lot of trouble in that second half. Danucci started throwing some pick sixes and he threw 2 or 3 interceptions there in the second half. So a couple pick sixes there in the second half that really hurt him. So I agree with you. I think I'd go with St. Louis. You said St. Louis be +4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that game tonight, 9 o'clock tonight on FX. I watched 3 out of the 4 games over the opening weekend, and I enjoyed it. I plan on watching tonight. Probably watch what I can of it this weekend when I'm not busy, because we do got some things going on Sunday.
Real quick, before we get out of here, I was going to ask you this. See what you think of this. I've been following this. Guy's been doing this poll online, and it's like a March Madness thing, but he's doing it a little earlier, and he's doing it with theme songs for pro wrestling theme songs, and he's down to his final 4. People voted on it, and it's Edge's theme song made the final 4. They're getting ready to take on Voices from Randy Orton, What's in Your Head, and then on the other side, it's Cody Rhodes' Kingdom against Shawn Michaels' Sexy Boy. That's what made his final 4.
Man, 2 of my favorites are going at it with Edge and Orton, because them are 2 of my favorite ones, and they're facing each other.
And Cody Rhodes has got a pretty good one now, the one that he uses.
Yeah.
But I would say out of those, my favorite is Randy Orton. Voices is my favorite out of those 4.
Yeah, those 4, I think I'd go with Orton as well, and then Edge is probably is my second favorite out of them 4. Because I've always really liked Edges as well. That might just be because I've heard it so many times, because Austin was a big Edge fan. But I think them 2 are my favorite 2 out of the 4, and they're going against each other.
But I just thought that was kind of.
And I'd probably put Cody Rhodes 3rd. I mean, I like Sexy Boy, but I don't know if it
holds up as well. Yeah.
But all right, before we do get out of here, don't forget, go check out the ASAP Sports mobile app. If you have an Android products, you can find it at the Google Play Store. You can also find it on Roku. We have a Roku channel as well, and you can find it on Amazon. If you have a Fire Stick, go to your apps, ASAP Network. You can find us on there. It will be on Apple products here real soon. We'll let you guys know when that gets launched. So go check that out. Also, if you missed our interview with pro wrestler Austin Casey yesterday. Go check that out. You can find it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all at Gonzo Sports Room, and the All Sports All Plays Network. They got a big show coming up March 4th, next Saturday. It's a fundraiser show for a guy that faced a gruesome injury at work, and then he's had a bunch of other things at home happen. So it's for a great cause for a family that could really use some help. So if you're in the Jeffersonville, Indiana area, March 4th, doors open at 6. Wrestling starts at 7. Tickets are $10. That's for any seat. So hey, you get there early enough, you can have front row seat for $10. You can get advanced tickets for $8. You can get a hold of Austin Casey. You can find him on Facebook. Travis Pittman on Facebook as well. If you want to get advanced tickets, $8 to get to go watch an evening of wrestling. You can't, and it's for a great cause. So go make sure if you're in the area and get to that, go check it out. Also tomorrow on Friday, we'll be doing a watch party and a live reaction for bare knuckle fighting BKFC. I'll check the times here in a little bit and put out something later tonight on what time we're going to go. I'm figuring probably somewhere around 8 or 9 o'clock.
I think the prelims
figure it out.
I'm almost positive prelims are 8.
But we'll let you guys know for sure on that. So we won't be doing the 11 o'clock GSR tomorrow night. We'll be doing that instead for Friday night. And then Sunday, 3 o'clock, live pro wrestling, WPW Warrior Pro Wrestling. They got a great card. Join us for that. We'll be live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. You'll be able to see the matches. We'll be there doing live commentary. It's always a great time every month when we go to Warrior Pro. But I haven't been there in a couple months because of some health issues. So really looking forward to getting back there this Sunday. And then, like I said earlier, follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Got some big news that'll be coming out here real soon. Yeah. So you want to make sure you stay tuned in. Stay tuned into our social media, so you don't miss that.
Huge news.
So like I said, and please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We'd greatly appreciate that as well. At Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Before we get out of my picks for tonight, NBA. Cleveland minus 2.5, Pacers plus 8.5, 76ers minus 3.5, Pelicans and Raptors under 226. And then I like the OKC Thunder on the money line over the Jazz. And in college basketball, I'm taking Ohio State minus 2.5 and Illinois minus 5.5. You have anything before we get out of here?
No, not really. I think I'm good to go.
But no, we appreciate everybody watching. We'll be back tomorrow at right around 3:15 with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Check out Unscripted tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can find that at Unscripted on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or at the All Sports All Plays Network as well. So join us tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern for that. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Hope everybody has a great day.